All right, hi, my name is Stephen Patrick Sullivan. I was born June 12th, 1997. I am currently in Panama City, Florida. As you can see, I'm getting this as what I'm going to say before I go out to. I was actually literally just did this for 15 minutes and my phone died. I'm about to go up into the center of the state. I got this message up all the way from Florida through every single state up the East Coast, up to New Jersey. I went to Pennsylvania as well, and then into Ohio, Cleveland, and then I got even the word out to somewhere like Toledo. I'm gonna just hit the points that I literally just did this. I'm gonna do this again. That I feel like are important, and I'm gonna start with just a brief overview of who I am as a person. My family, father is his mom dies in front of him when he's very young. Mom leaves home very early. Grandfather is like a Purple Heart, pretty much in the whatever. I believe there's something going on there. I don't know. I'm not going to get deep into it, but it is very important. And then my uncle they're lawyers. They are judges. I have a great uncle, Carl, who's like a Maryland judge. My other uncle is a lawyer. My other uncle is heavy construction out in Maryland. You got my other uncle, Stu, Uncle Blake. Uncle Stu is HVAC. Uncle Blake is construction. Uncle Dave is a lawyer. This is from what I have been told. And so we would meet up like let's just start at the top. So their preface is they were in like Seattle. They had my brother Chris, is what they tell me, and then they go down to Mississippi. They met in a Christian college or something, and then I'm born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Then they come down to Florida, and then I've just recently figured out like what's I'm just gonna be as blunt and quick as possible, because this is like before I go and tell what has happened to me to these other states, and protect myself so that I'm not killed on the way after what's happened to me. For me, I am, as I said, Stephen Patrick Sullivan, born June 12th, 1997. And I was raised up in 13489 Las Palmas Drive, Largo, Seminole, Florida, unincorporated, zip code 33774, Pinellas County. And that's what I know. That's where I was raised up. We were in a couple of different places. My mom was a nurse, an ultrasound by that time, and she was working at Barmore, and then later the Veterans Administration Hospital, very important. And then my father is a pastor. We're a church family, Greater Grace Church. And we were all in the church, I had church friends, later soccer friends. I had like a soccer team, soccer friends in the neighborhood, around the neighborhood. And I went to school. I was like kind of a bully, until middle school. I kicked it. I had a ton of problems as a kid. I had a ton, like I'll list them off, though, some of the worst ones. For example, I had this beautiful Asian girl, Pearl, when I was younger. Like, we were playing in the pool, and I had her put her hands on my testicles or something. It was terrible. I did do that like one time or maybe even twice, and I never actually hung out with her again, which is a good thing. And then I yelled obscenities at my cousin. Like, I took her to the side. I was like 10 years old when this happened, 8 years old, 10 years old or something. But it's bad, it's terrible. It's not, but again, I'm a child. And I blame it on Call of Duty. Like, I would play Call of Duty and Counter-Strike all the time. I just had a mouth and whatever. I'm very sick. I was born with a genius. Like, my dick is like chipped to the side. Like, it looks like a fucking lightning bolt. It used to be like tilted to the left. Now it's like I straighten it out. So I have mental problems. I have physical problems. I'll get to more stuff, but that's like my life, and my we're growing up. We have a dog, next door neighbor is firefighter, and so I get in a fight with my brother. He's like, I choked him out. He looked over my shoulder. He had just came back from the Air Force, looking like a POW, literally, like he had been tortured or something. But he looks over my shoulder and he looks at my birthday cash. I don't get cash, you know what I mean? And my father would always be on me about smoking weed. He took it like it was his job, you know what I mean? Smoking weed. The type of person I am is I've taken ayahuasca. I've done DMT, like not just ayahuasca, but shrooms. I've done LSD, many, like I did like 30 tabs over like 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. I would work out for 4 hours with one dumbbell. I remember looking in the mirror. I didn't even see I opened the Bible. I'm like there. I didn't even I'm like, who am I looking at? Like, I on ayahuasca, I broke through hemispheres. Like, it's a video game in my mind. My eyes are closed and I'm back, but I'm like, and then I ended up literally like fucking floating in space. You could imagine like shooting through hemispheres and then like floating in space. And I come back to my body. I had like 1,000 dragonflies come out in the middle of Ocala and blind my friends. These are just examples I've had literally my whole life. It's like, it sounds fictitious or something, but it's real. And then like when I later get sent to California, and they sent me to a private school. I got in like a fight. This kid hit me in my face for $20 worth of weed and something my friend said. And so I fight him, and my mom got scared, and they send me to a private school, Northside Christian School, and then they spend like $10,000 or like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They never told me. They lied so many times. Like, oh, that was your college tuition we spent on this private school, by the way. And like, I have a trust for my grandfather, and that's why I feel like everything's going to be okay. In my head, I'm like, nothing can go wrong. It's going to be okay. I end up going across the country to Isla Vista, California, major party school. Their excuse was, they're like, we just want you to go somewhere where it's not partying and not by your drug friends. They aren't drug friends, dude. They're just friends. Like, they barely, like, we're not like those fucking heroin kids or something. Like, he had access to the Silk Road, you know what I mean? Like, we'd smoke weed to get away from our crazy ass families. Like, they're idiots. Again, I'm getting emotional. This is what I get to. So I get sent to, I hope I'm trying to just make a basic thing to just say enough to where, like, I kind of get something down before I go do this and go to the middle of the country. So they send me over to California, and I am going to school for culinary. That doesn't even make sense. And there's a cafe downstairs, so I'm not even cooking my own food. And then I go to let me catch this shit on. Just want to make sure it's, I know they do crazy shit. That's why I'm doing this, so I don't die. And then I later go up to school in Santa Cruz for construction. And then I call my uncle. I'm like, hey, same uncle who's like a major construction guy in Maryland. He's like, no, I don't have a job for you. These are the same people we meet, you know what I mean? At the end of the year. And which is, I don't man, stuff happens, but then you start to see after a while, it's insane. And there's a reason these things happen. And I am this way. And so, like, I was into bondage when I was like 5 years old. I watched something like a Batman movie at my friend's house, my next door neighbors, and then I come back home. I remember I was like 5 years old, dude, like into serious porn. Like, that was like the first porn I got into. And then I don't even watch that shit now. I mean, I'm not saying like whatever, but literally. And I had to like transfer. I had to shift my mindset. Like, I was a bully as a kid. I had to shift at middle school. I had to shift. And it was very weird, it's very weird. And I'll tell you just the truth. And whenever I speak to you, it will be 100% the truth. I have a voice in my head that often says like, please stop, for example, like I just heard that. And so this is, I'm just gonna start hitting things off as consistently as possible to make this go through. And I'm gonna stop this here and then make another video.